A Clear Lake man is now facing multiple felony charges after investigators say he locked his disabled wife inside of a bedroom of their $1 million Clear Lake home for years. Police say the woman was recently able to call for some help. Fox 26 reporter Leslie Delaspore is live outside that home with the latest on this disturbing case. Leslie.
Yeah, that's right, Caroline. So neighbors I spoke to today tell me that they're shocked. They say that this home behind me here has always looked as it does right now with the blinds closed. So they had absolutely no idea of what was going on inside. A horror story was happening inside this $1 million home on Crown Ridge Court in Clear Lake, right next to the Bay Oaks Country Club golf course.
This leans to the idea that I grew up with. You never know what's going on in other people's houses, regardless of what it looks like on the outside. Most importantly, man, prayers to the wife. Prayers to the wife that you were married to such a demonic predator that would lock you in a bedroom even when you are disabled. Do you know how evil you have to be to lock somebody in a bedroom for years? Now, contrary to popular opinion, being a husband is a ministry. Being a wife is a ministry. Marriage itself is a ministry. And so many people do it for different reasons. But most of all, it's a ministry. God puts people together to serve one another. Not for one person to do everything or vice versa. But a husband and wife are meant to come together to serve one another, to uplift each other, to push each other forward, and to answer the destiny that He's called you to fulfill. But unfortunately, in this society, many people are chasing opportunities and resources. They'll look at someone for what they have and say, hey, I'll marry you and drain you for your resources. Most people are getting married to someone that does not have their best interests at heart. And I understand the mindset of people that are established or have a significant amount of wealth, that they find it hard to trust somebody to have their best interests. I get it. But before we move on, I want you to take a moment to observe this individual on the screen. Y'all know how we do it when we get a mugshot over here. I want you to take a moment to observe the individual on the screen, and I'm going to give you a hint. If you haven't watched any of my other videos, look into his eyes. It is my personal belief and experience in life that a person's eyes can tell you a lot about who they are. It's a fact. And when you look into his eyes, he definitely looks like he's on demon time. We have to be careful of the wolves in sheep's clothing. Because if you let someone into your life like this, they can turn your life upside down and drain you of everything that you work for, even at your lowest moment.
Houston police say officers responded to the home around 7 a.m. March 6th after 46-year-old Ruby Rivera Johnson called for help. Investigators say the woman told police her husband, 46-year-old James Earl Johnson, had been locking her inside a bedroom against her will for years. She also told police she was not properly fed, sometimes given just one egg a day and dinner. Court records say the woman, who has disabilities, was confined to a bedroom for 5 years without phone access, proper nutrition, or medical care.
Bro is a savage. The report says he fed her an egg. Bro, ain't nobody getting full off no egg. Not even the baby's getting full off an egg. I just really hate to see stuff like this because, marriage is such a beautiful thing with the right person. Marriage is beautiful. It's beautiful. It's meant for you to have a partner, to build a life with, to build a family, to experience things. Some people say, you're a person. No marriage is perfect. Let's be very clear. No marriage is perfect. Every marriage has a different rhythm. And what you see on TV is not what marriage really is. What you see in the movies, that's a lie. Yes, there are good times, but there are also some bad times too. There's some arguments. There's some disagreements. There's some silent nights. There's some silent go-offs, silent negative energy. That's real marriage. But at the end of the day, regardless of the turbulence that you experience as a couple, you still want to know that regardless of what happens, that this person that you have committed your life to still has your best interest at heart. Sometimes I believe, it's my personal opinion, that we desire something so much that we overlook the red flags that God tries to warn us. I'm telling you, in most situations, dealing with people, they will expose who they are even if they try to present you with the representative. And it's up to us as the individuals, with discernment and understanding from current and previous situations, to allow God to pull all that information together so that we can make an informed decision. When we want something so bad, we will make a decision that will change our life forever. And so, if you're listening to this video anywhere, I just want to encourage you to lean into God to guide your path to the person that you're supposed to be with. It's not something that you want to rush. I'm telling you, it's not something you want to rush. And I'll just give you a tip here. The true heart of a man or woman will be shown in your lowest moment. The true intention of the person in your life is shown in your lowest moment. It's not shown on the vacations, the Instagram posts. All that stuff is nice, but that don't matter. The true intention of a person will show up on full display at your lowest moment. And if a person can lift you up and be there for you and encourage you in your lowest moment and not switch up, that's who you want to stick with. I also want to caution you, they're not going to be perfect. They're not going to always say the right thing. They're not always going to make the right decision. They're not always going to do everything you say, because that's marriage. That's just people. But if they're supporting you, lifting you up, praying for you, interceding for you in your lowest moment, that's a person you want to hold into. A person that's lifting you up when you can't even lift up yourself. That is someone that you want to hold on to. So before you make an informed decision to commit your life to someone, you need to make sure you have evaluated that they are the person they have shown to be in your lowest moment.
Documents say she was finally able to call 911 after Johnson left a phone on the nightstand, but investigators say he later carried her back to bed after hanging up the call. HPD says officers were previously called to the home in November of 2025, but investigators say the wife told them the husband allegedly told her and the children to remain quiet when police arrived. Neighbors say nothing seemed out of the ordinary, describing Johnson as active in the neighborhood, even attending events like National Night Out. One trauma therapist says people with disabilities are at a greater risk for abuse, and victims in cases like this can face a very long road to healing.
You know, stories like this make me feel so compassionate and heartened for the survivor in this case, the victim in this case, who's had to live with a form of abuse we call coercive control. But the wounds that are created by this form of abuse, psychological, emotional, physical, can be long-lasting and quite devastating. The victim finally sought some help, which led to some physical violence. But make no mistake, if somebody's being held against their will for 5+ years, this abuse was long-standing. But the road to recovery can be long and hard, but help is available through counseling, through support. There is a lot of help out there. Fortunately, there is a lot of help available in our communities. There are resources, counselors, domestic violence organizations, hotlines. So if you see something that doesn't look altogether normal, might be suspicious, let them know, listen, and say, you know what, here's some resources.
As previously stated, you have to be a special kind of person to take advantage of someone that's disabled, especially your wife. As a man that was previously married to a wife that had a disability, my heart's desire was just to see her live out her days being happy, considering that in most days she was in pain and she was in the hospital. It was never my desire to make her life any worse. And it's my belief that's why God blessed me to be able to do it again with my beautiful wife that He has blessed me with now. Just understand that every decision we make, good or bad, there's a payment plan coming with that decision. And in everything we do, we have to have our heart in the right place and do right by people. And even if you disagree with how they live in their life or the decisions that they're making, it is still not a reason or recourse for you to take advantage of them. So shout out to the wife, shout out to the family, shout out to the kids. I pray that the Lord heals you from the trauma that you've experienced. I pray that the husband receives what he deserves. I pray that the Lord restores you. But most of all, just remember, marriage is a ministry, especially when God is in it. Never marry someone unless you have seen who they really are over a period of time at your lowest moment. That is the true heart of a man or woman when you can barely lift up yourself. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on your notifications so that you do not miss a video from yours truly. And as always, thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. I love you. God loves you. I'm out. Prayers to the wife. I pray you receive the help you need and that God restores you through the situation. I'm out.